Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing. Good afternoon, happy lunch hour, happy hump day, happy November, happy Thanksgiving, happy Veterans Day, all in one. We say happy day to all of you guys out there. Thank you for clicking on another live segment with the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel, where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly. If you haven't become a subscriber already, it's absolutely never too late. You can become a subscriber today, become a supporter. This way you receive notifications every time we have a new content creation upload. You Will Make It TV family household to yours, okay? Now, most of our segments are just for entertainment purposes only, especially if I'm only giving my reaction and commentary. My opinion never has to be yours, and you'll never be judged here for having a separate opinion about any of the topics that we choose to share. So just know that we try to keep and make this a safe community here where people can give their opinions freely, because every voice does count and matter. And then we do our best to remove, unwanted, crazy comments. Just like I said, it's a way you can be open to allow people to speak without, and still keep it a safe space, right? Because nobody wants to tune in and they're attacked every time they say something, right? But as we saw on the thumbnail and the subject title today, I wanted to give my commentary and reaction, entertainment purposes only. But what KimK said was not for just entertainment purposes. We can holler entertainment purposes all we want to. When some of these celebrities come out and speak, it's not just for entertainment purposes. It's actually something they actually experienced or that they might be going through. And it's so crazy that no matter what gets publicized about these guys' lives, people will always look at it as as entertainment, because it's what they signed up to be. Even when it's like it got to be super severe, like they're almost near death or sick or dead, for people to just respect celebrities outside of entertainment. It's really crazy. I don't know if we even take a moment to think about that, but it's crazy to me, right? But I was inspired to give my commentary and reaction, just my slight reaction to this right here, because I thought it was a joke at first too, but no, it's not just like blogs and stuff talking about it. It's just them talking about something she said out of her own mouth, like, hey, I trusted a psychic to tell me how the results of a certain part of her life, how she trusted a psychic to tell her how a certain part of her life was going to play out, okay? I know she probably doesn't seem like the boldest, or when it comes to one of the women in the industry that actually stands up for things, right? The last a lot of people heard was that she was in law school. Even then, I didn't judge her. I mean, if Kim K wanted to go to law school, I don't know why people was all weird about that, but I feel like anything anybody want to do, because this is You Will Make It TV. You fault them if they didn't try at all. You don't fault them for actually trying, but she was already getting discouragement stuff. Like, people was just like, why is she in law school? She's an entertainer. I don't know. That's crazy. They act like because they come entertainers, they can't want to get their education up or go to school or start businesses. Because as we know with the Kardashians, they're very known to do that. Like, they don't leave their eggs in one basket, if you will. It's the celebrities who do that you see running into trouble later. Because what if you can't entertain in the same way that you used to? What if that day comes? Do you have something else you could do for business, right? Or any other talents or stuff you could do. Uh, in case, the entertainment business for some reason flops, do they have other businesses? So that's why I respected her for at least trying to go to school. I don't know if she announced it just for clout or what, but if she was really in law school, I do respect that. Once again, to me, a person that's trying to do something versus they rather just sit up and say you trying to leech off people or not trying to, because school is still work. So, but she said the psychic told her that she was going to graduate. That's so crazy. That she was going to be successful. And I guess once she didn't see the results line up to what the psychic told her, she already gave up on what the psychic told her. She feels like she was scammed and the psychic is a fraud. Versus there are people who were told they were going to do great things in life. I wanted to use this as an insightful topic example. Um, that doesn't mean that they successfully did it the first time they tried. So does that mean that the psychic lied to you? I have so many questions, but this is just my commentary and reaction to her allegations about the whatever psychic she talked to, right? I was just saying how what makes people think that because they didn't see the results of something they were foretold the first time. Even in the Bible, you're gonna see that like there was people who had prophetic words spoken to them that they didn't see come to pass till like many, many, many years later or generations later. Shall I keep going? It don't always mean that the what you were told is not right. If you ask me. That's my opinion. That's just the first part of my reaction. Just stating that fact. It is true. Like if I could talk to Kim K about what she feels right now, I would say the same thing. Which I don't know the full story or how long she had been listening to the psychic, but God talk about that too. Like he don't talk about psychic specifically, which he does, but let me speak this part real quick. He does try to encourage us to never put our 100% faith in human beings, like mankind. You don't do that because you're going to be disappointed every time. And God said that first. It's okay to trust a person, have a friend, have one, but to put your 100% faith in them, like hold on to their every word like they're God, you gonna be disappointed. That's like saying human psychics can't make mistakes or something. I don't know. I mean, is it possible? Just because they kind of foresee things, and I'm not saying she wasn't scammed by a psychic, but these days scams are everywhere. Honestly, they in every pretty much sector of business you can think of. There's the good side of businesses that's actually treating people right, but literally they're making a clone of literally everything out here. And if you ask me, the clone things are the scams. What do you mean? They try to make us as human beings suddenly look like scams. Everything we do is a scam. Some people even call AI a scam. You see what I'm saying? Or I don't know who told people just because new advancements come out that you can 100% trust it. Like, it's just crazy. But I do want to mention that part. Just because you're foretold something do not mean because you didn't see that happen in 15, 10, 5 years that what you were told is not going to come to pass. But this is true for what you would call a prophetic word, not a false prophecy. That's what usually exposes a false prophecy, if you ask me. What do I mean? What do I mean? Let me try to make, it's asking me to add a question and answer sticker. Let me try this real quick. Oh yeah, but to me, there is a slight difference between a psychic prediction and a literal prophecy. I'm not saying one is above the next, but just hear me out with my opinion about this. Okay, because a prophecy that's not false, and that's for sure, it's never been known to come to pass unless that prophecy told you an exact time that it's gonna happen. Like, oh, this gonna happen in your life by September or October or something like that. Usually, the prophecy, that's what's powerful about it. It's usually always debated. They try to compromise it. They try to flip it into anything but what the original word was. Because the Bible say God's word. I don't know about mankind's word or any other species' word. But God's word does not return to him void. Okay? And it's not like me, for example, any prophetic word I ever received or somebody claimed to be giving me, right? I mean, I don't judge it. All I can do is listen to the person in the moment. Once again, it's always time that reveals a false prophecy versus an actual prophetic word. You're going to know that it was an actual prophetic word because it's going to come to pass. And then usually that's how that quote unquote prophet begins to receive, I guess, some type of respect or accolades. Now they're more trusted, quote unquote, as a prophet because people actually seeing the things that they said come to pass versus just predictions. A prediction, you can't get mad about that if it if it don't play out like you saying that it should have, right? A prediction is just that. I think we have began to put predictions on some type of pedestal. Any one of us can predict probability all day long. You got to be careful with that, though. I mean, is that a form of betting too and gambling too? Gambling, first of all, comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. And then it's crazy because, like, are you gambling with your life? To just go around taking every psychic's word into account, everything a psychic tell you or predicts about your life. That's up to you because you just hear more people coming out. I'm just using KimK for an example, saying that they possibly might want to take action against quote unquote psychics they believe told them wrong, that misguided them or told them some misinformation. What do y'all think about that? Are we going into times where we might see more people? Because just like I wanted to compare it and contrast it almost to people in any religious sector, right? They'll sit here and it makes headline news if you hear about a pastor, a minister, an evangelist, or somebody quote unquote lying to people. Well, it's the same thing in the psychic world, but you don't really see people just suing people every day for being lied to. But I feel like, I don't know, we might start seeing it actually. Or you guys feel free to leave your opinions in the chat. What are the laws and stuff that protect people from lies? LIES. It seems like they have a law, a mandate, a regulation for everything else. You know, but in court and when it comes to law, everybody's supposed to be standing on the truth. Yet there's still so much, it just be so much griminess and liars and everything. Literally. When you go to court, one of the first things they'll say before you testify about something is like, look, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but? And when we talking about truth, there's no manipulation that surrounds that. There's no foul play or scamming that surrounds that. Until you begin to see life for like what it really is, like how far people really go to keep the truth out of the light. So it goes both ways. I don't know. Do they go as far as because that's what I want to know. Like, was KimK paying this psychic? Then I can feel her pain because maybe you want your money back. Should people be allowed to get their money back from psychics that they paid if they feel like the psychic lied to them? Because she's not the first story I've seen of people coming out lately feeling like they were lied to by psychics. That's crazy, bro. Like, just I see how the world is advancing too. Like people just are not going for that anymore. They don't want to be lied to. They don't want to be scammed. They're exhausted. They're they're blew out at this point. But it shows the security of people. Like, do people even believe in themselves anymore? Everybody, because depending on what your story is, we understand why you might go. Because to me, just supporting psychics and their work and businesses is one thing, but you actually out here paying them for actual legit information about your life, to me, that's a different thing. Should they be required to give people their money back? I don't know. It's just, I'm just asking y'all, what do you think about that? Yeah, that's my question. Uh, Even if you're not a celebrity, like Kim K, those that don't know what's going on, she said the psychic told her she was gonna successfully graduate law school, and she felt like that's not the results that she saw. I was just explaining how even if that's not the results you see the first time, that part is true too. That doesn't mean that it's not true. Let's say a psychic tell me I'm gonna become a no, let's say a psychic tell me who I'm gonna marry, right? And I don't end up marrying that person, or I start dating that person and they show their true colors, and I'm like, that ain't the person for me. Uh, is that the psychic's fault? That's crazy, bro. How they're slowly. I know that sector of business didn't think they were exempt though, because anything else out here can be called a scam at the drop of a hat. At the drop of a dime, however I'm trying to describe it, anything, like it's a scam literally that surrounds everything in this world right now, whether we're a part of it or not, whether we know about it or not. I'm aware, and that means psychics too. That just doesn't mean every psychic is trustworthy. And with that being said, what proves that a psychic is trustworthy? What proves that a prophet is trustworthy? Because the only opposite of a true psychic, a true seer, or a true prophet is a false prophet, a false seer, a false psychic. People be like, yeah, God speaks about seers and divination. I think he was talking about the false ones, really, because he sees how that affects people's lives, honestly. And that was talked about how God feels about divinationers in the Bible, but everybody got different opinions about that. Honestly, they be like, no, God just hates all witches, and God just hates all. I think God hates anything false. Honestly, let's think about it. God didn't ask people to start doing false things with things that people have always trusted, with gifts that used to be known to be good. I got another topic coming up here too about the forbidden fruit in the beginning, because I felt like I had a revelation about it. You see, we often talk about how mankind wasn't supposed to know evil as far as the consciousness of evil. uh, Genesis describes that God created mankind to just know good. That's how he wanted it to be. And then when they became aware of wickedness or evil, how did this affect the world? How did this change the psyche of people, right? And I feel like ever since that happened, people get so caught up on the forbidden fruit and what happened after the forbidden fruit was bitten from. They get so caught up on that part, they forget that, hey, it was just forbidden because God only wanted them to know good. But that doesn't mean that these forbidden things are going to just mask what's truly good forever. You understand? Like it's like they trying to say, yep, since Eve ate off the forbidden fruit, uh, everything is tainted now. No, that's like saying the existence of God is just gone. Like, some of us can still see what's good. That's all I was trying to say. And why wouldn't I be believed about that when that's how the whole creation started? Like, everything was good. That was the first. That was the first, right? Let me say that was the first love. Goodness. That's why babies are innocent when they first come into the world, and we find them good. They ain't did nothing wrong. They're innocent. So I just feel like they use the acknowledgement of evil, the awareness of evil, uh, to taint what's good. If that perception makes sense to anybody, that's how I look at it. That doesn't mean good does not exist, but there's something wrong with you anyway if all you can see is wickedness and evil, but you can't see what's good. That's just my personal opinion. I want to be able to see what's good just as much as I can see what's evil. Like why would I want my life to be one-sided? Like, oh, all I see is darkness. I better be able to see light too. Oh, all I see is evil and wickedness, but I can't see what's good anymore. Oh, all I see is the truth. Well, that would mean I'm also sensitive to the false things in the world too. I just feel like that's what true balance would look like. And we probably didn't ask for it, but people can't blame Eve and Adam forever, bro. Like, so as we've seen, a lot of people do the same things. The same thing Eve did, they would have did it. That's how I feel. They would have did the same thing because they're doing it today. They're doing it today. It's like, what do you keep bringing Adam and Eve up for? I'm only bringing it up in reference to the topic, you know. And then look how you can be quote unquote good. You got to be careful with that, trying to just be and look perfect to everybody. You can have a whole child that came out of you, that came from your womb, your bloodline, like Adam and Eve did, and they kids was trying to kill. I ain't gonna say they was trying to kill each other, but one of them was a whole murderer. You see what I'm saying? Then they'll say that have nothing to do with me. That was my child's choice, but that seed came from you. There's a movie called The Good Seed or The Bad Seed, I forgot, with Kevin Costner, the boy from Home Alone. He plays like this very evil child. Every time he was out of the watch or vicinity of his parents, he would just do like really evil, sinister stuff to other kids, to animals. He didn't care. So his parents or whoever really didn't know he was like that. I ain't seen the movie in a long time, but I've been referencing to it a lot, you know. Like, why can't psychics see stuff like that? And I'm not here to knock it. Real talk. Like, they don't know who people gonna be every time. They can look at that all they want to. What I paid attention to is, once again, you could tell me, when you grow up, you're gonna like the color yellow. That's gonna be your favorite color. But you can't tell me how that's gonna transpire. That's why I would never 100% put my faith in something just like a reading. Like, I don't see how people think one reading is telling them everything. Like, that's taking the enjoyment out of life too. Like, you can know what's coming, but you still don't control God in a way where you know how it's going to transpire. Once again, you could have a dream that a comet is going to hit the earth one day, but you don't know how that's going to transpire, when it's going to transpire, what part of the earth is going to hit. So people be like expecting readers to be God, if you ask me. They don't know everything. That's crazy. I don't care if they read 24 hours a day for people. You still don't know everything. That's crazy, because you would have to know the events that you saw in the reading plus how they're going to transpire. That's a lot of work. I'd rather let God be God. I can read into situations a little bit, but what I've noticed though is like you still don't control the most high power God and how things are going to transpire. Nobody knows. That's why I'm glad the Bible say that. I'm starting to understand it a little more, where it say no man knows the time or the hour. They just think that's about the Son of Man's return. That's the thing. The Son of Man could be walking the earth right now. Would people recognize him? He said you wouldn't know the time or the hour, so how you know he ain't here now? Just sitting back, recording, watching everybody, watching everything. They got the all-seeing eye. Everywhere you go, the symbol of it, like something is watching, whether people like it or not. You see? I'm just trying to give a new perspective from a point that people never looked at it, because I don't care what nobody says. Psychics, and they're just more trending today. whether people know it or not. Like spiritual, they call it New Age spirituality. In the New Age, people have more freedom to, like, some people even creating their own religions, whether y'all knew that or not. They're called cults, where they just put a set of values and beliefs and rules that help them stick together, that they choose, that they vow to stick to. How is that not a form of religion? No matter what the cult is, what they stand for, that's like you going to go create your own religion. Pretty much. You write down a set of beliefs and rules, and you get your group together and say, this is what we now believe. And they all make a pact to believe it. So I don't fear religion. I like to study what religions are ancient, what religions have been here, and which ones did people create. You got man-made products. There are also man-made religions, okay? It's just, it means something to me. Like, people should research these things more before they, like, trust their whole life with it. You see, in my opinion, even Kim Kardashian. Cause see, sometimes there's people that it's called responsibilities. Like, there's people that depend on you, just like Kim K or any other celebrity with kids. There's people that literally depend on her, and her staff and her family and whoever else depend on her. So yeah, what you put your all faith in kind of matters, because if you believe in everything the psychics say to make decisions with your kids, I know they thought, like, I'm one of those that they won't be able to say that about. I'm not gonna just leave a reading and go make a decision with somebody that had nothing to do with me choosing to go get a reading. Why would I place that type of burden on somebody? Like, oh, well, I got a reading, so I'm gonna treat you like this. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? They won't be able to say that about me. If anything, they'll say, we didn't know how she was able to read into so much and still not make quick-witted decisions just off of the first statement somebody, psychic, told her. First of all, if I'm one myself, I wouldn't do that. I don't know, it's crazy. Like, even with my own dreams and visions and feelings about things, I still don't find it wise to jump straight on top of decisions just because of somebody's opinion or insight into my life. Now I'm making that person my God, ain't I? I'm pretty much worshiping that person, even if it's unconscious. I'm now worshiping you like a God to take some information you gave me and start making decisions in my life based off of it. Like, a psychic could tell me, you need to give your daughter up, which you don't know what a psychic done told somebody. That don't mean I'ma do it. That's weird. You judge me all day for the reading, or you can judge the psychic. But who do you judge when a person sit there and start actually making decisions that surround their life based off of what you told them? But you got people that want to sit here and judge you for making decisions in your life based off of what the Bible, the Word of God, told them. Or God, this scripture matters too. Just to encourage people away from scams of psychics, because they are out there. Just like you have false prophets, false preachers, false teachers, false anything. Anything can be false. I'm sorry, but it's true. That's why they be like, salt look like sugar. It don't mean that salt or sugar is false. It means if you can't decipher the difference between the two, yeah, you could fall in between the cracks and end up all confused about it. And the whole time they were two different elements. They just look similar. But one is false. One is sugar, one is salt. That's where it gets deep. If I could give that young lady, Kim Kardashian, some advice, right, I would just be like, because to me, whether she showboats that she's a believer or religious, she really has never come out publicly and said that she was personally religious. Like, but Kanye West was vocal about it. You see what I'm saying? He's been vocal about it, trying to be. They always make the ones who really were die-hard religious fans look crazy. Then you come out later talking about a psychic lied to you. But you want to call other people's religions crazy. You know. What's up, boo-boo? I just think this is a powerful like topic because there was this one king. Because we go back to looking at status, like whether you're a poor man, a rich man. What I noticed, nobody likes being lied to. You know, a lie is a lie, and God said He hate a liar. I don't think He said He hate psychics or He hates gifted people or He hates dreamers or He hates visionists. He hates false. He hates anything false. And it's really crazy because they say God have no hate. So for Him to hate something, it's pretty deep. Like, but He's just like us, really. If we were created in His image and we don't want nobody lying to us, everybody hates being lied to, but nobody minds lying. It's just crazy. If anything, be an honest psychic. If that person asks you, am I going to graduate college? And you don't know the answer, you're a more honest psychic to give an honest opinion. Like, no, well, I can't tell you that. But no, they rather take your money and tell you anything. I don't see how that's different from the people talking about the churches that do the same thing. Like, maybe feeding people, quote unquote, false hope, but they take all their donations and money and cash contributions, and then 10 years later, the state of your congregation hasn't changed. The people are struggling. They doing horrible. But you sitting up with yachts and mansions and golden chariots and stuff, See, this is what God meant. Like, you'll know by their fruit. In my opinion, that's a example of that. Where, like any cult, you look at who the people were before they joined the cult, before they joined the religion, before they joined whatever group it is. Does anybody ever do that? Like, look at who people were before they joined something. It'll tell you a lot. Just like the industry. That's why people give their opinions more vocally about it. They like, hey, have you noticed this celebrity seemed fine until they joined this? That co-worker seemed fine until they got their promotion. You know that promotion didn't come from God when you get it, and then your life is falling to shambles and pieces and shreds from trusting what somebody told you. Like me, when I went to school, I don't know. Like, it's something I wanted really bad, an education or a degree, but I wasn't going to get psychic readings to find out if I was going to be like successful. It's called taking risk in life. And I didn't need a reader to tell me, like, oh, you're going to graduate. I put the work in and graduated. I didn't need a psychic to tell me if it was going to happen. What you mean? And I'm not the type of person, I'm glad that I overcame that. It seemed really little. It's not comparing my life to others. It's like trying to give my testimony a little bit because it might help somebody. But there used to be a time in my life, if it didn't work out the very first time I tried something, and this was in my younger days, I just used to be like this. If it didn't work out the first attempt, y'all wouldn't even believe that about me. But if it didn't work out the first attempt, I used to be just done with it. And then I wouldn't just be done with it. I would actually, like, it takes self-awareness because I didn't even notice I was doing this. But if it didn't work out the first time, I would, like, even find myself moping or depressed a little bit. Spending all this time waddling in the grief that I didn't successfully complete something. Versus you could have put that time in giving it a second attempt, a third attempt, a fourth attempt. By that fourth attempt, you probably would have came out successful. If you give up the first time, I don't care who you are. That's not giving the psychic prediction or the prophecy or the probability a chance. For example, y'all don't know because Martin Luther King ain't here to tell us. I'm just using him for an example, but he might have been foretold what he was going to do or become one day in his life when he was a child. because that's how some of our lives are. But everybody doesn't like openly speak on it. Like they could have been told how they were going, what they were going to be doing, and that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Even if a person knows what they're going to be doing, or spies look at what you're going to be doing and want to watch you just because they heard a prophecy or prediction about your life, that's what it make people do. It's silly to me, but they just, well, I'm going to study this person until I see that word come to pass in their life. But the prophecy never said that you would live to even see that person fulfill that prophecy, did it? It just said what the prophecy was going to be. It didn't say that all the people that was going to be watching you to see if it actually come to pass were going to survive to see it come to pass. That's the thing about a prophecy. It kind of like sprinkles. They like sprinkles on a cupcake. It's not the whole cupcake. And people take the sprinkles and try to like control the sprinkles. It's crazy. Once again, just because a young child is told, yeah, you're going to be a famous singer one day. And then suddenly all these industry moguls are following you. Because they would already be trying to control and dictate how the prophecy transpires. And you can't do that. You can be available. You can offer that person deals and all you want to. That doesn't mean that it was meant for you to be the route that person takes, the path you think they should take, the direction you think they should go, just because you heard a prophecy over their life, or you read some cards on them and you feel like you know what's going to happen to them. Like, God don't see people doing it. That's what's crazy anyway. And it really say right there in the Bible, like, hey, I say God laugheth at his enemies. He just be laughing at them. You be pulling strings at your hair trying to figure out what's going on the whole time God's sitting on his throne laughing at him. Because how are you sitting there calling yourself trying to control if his word don't return to him void, and he spoke a word over somebody's life, that's his word. Like, it's not gonna return to him void. So why would you sit there and try to control his word over somebody's life? Well, I'll tell you why. Because people think they should be the dictators and control what God said over somebody's life. Especially when it's their own child or their own loved one or something they're familiar with, and then they don't have to know you at all. It's scary to know there's people out there just sitting there reading people's lives like that, or thinking that they're doing that. That's why I say I don't think God hates the divinationers. He hates the falsicities of their work, right? He knows the intent of the heart. People feel like because they do something, as long as they don't look like that's not the intent, that God doesn't see the intent. But everybody makes a motion with intent. INTENT. Like, seriously, if you don't even know a person, why are you sitting there reading on their life all day long? All day, every day. That has now become your God. It's like you're worshiping that person's soul or something. Their soul journey, their path, their destiny. And this person just casually living, eating a bowl of cereal every morning. They just casually living. Because some people are not interested to know every detail, what's going to happen. I don't see how that's freedom. They want to know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. You think somebody was able to predict Hurricane Katrina happening? Obviously not. Because had they had a reader that could predict, and what's crazy about Louisiana, they're full of psychic readers and stuff. What you mean? But I don't remember hearing that somebody was able to predict one of the worst storms that ever happened in that state called Hurricane Katrina. That could have helped people get out of there and save their lives before it transpired. Or maybe a reader did foresee that storm coming and people just didn't listen to that reader. But yeah, until I see stuff like that, I'll never put my whole faith into just me, myself, now, into one reader or many readers. Now, they probably think they know the intent of what to do. We just don't stop all the time to explain it. just because they don't understand your intent, they be mad because certain people's intent is not as readable as others. That don't mean they hide nothing. You just haven't learned to understand that person. Then an intent with malice needs to be read into, not an intent you just can't read. That's that person's right to privacy. That's that person's right. Like, come on, bro. A person cooks breakfast with the intent to eat it so they're not hungry for the rest of the morning. We're just talking obvious intentions versus intentions people be trying to cover up, and they don't understand that it's still very much seen. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but the story I was bringing up was a king. I know his name started with an N, like Nancy. It started with an N, and he had a very bad flesh eating disease going on. And I guess the man had been praying about it, and he was a whole king. It just show you riches and money don't protect you from everything. A sickness is a sickness. So a prophet is sent to him to tell him, hey, if you want to be healed, these are the instructions of God. Like, you done tried everything else. So if you want to test God, I mean, here's the instructions. He said, go dip in the muddy Jordan. Go down there and dip your whole body into that muddy river down there. And sometimes when you're telling an uppity king or somebody of high value something like that, you want me to go roll over in the mud to get my miracle? That's how most people would have took it. But he wanted this deliverance and this healing for his skin condition so bad that he was willing to do the instructions of the Lord to see what happened. He had tried every other doctor, every other psychic. So he said, well, I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I do this. And he goes to the river and he dips and he comes up, but he still had the disease. It's a whole story about that in the Bible. Like, he still had the disease, and he's looking at the prophet like he's false now, because he like, look, I went and did what you told me to do, and I'm still dealing with the same thing. Pretty much as the story goes, he sends the man back to dip in that same muddy river, like, I think in total 7 times. Like, it took him going back that many times, believing, not just going back and doing what somebody told him. That's the thing about faith, believing that what you're actually doing is going, you're going to get some kind of result out of it. Like, this ain't about psychics or prophetic words. Do people even believe in healing? Do they believe in change? They should ask themselves that first. Do you believe in blessings and miracles actually coming from above? That way there's no third degree or fine writings at the bottom of the paper that you got to worry about. If it comes from God and it was promised from God, it's always been known to be certain. And all you can do is fight against that. I'll be right back, guys. But no, I only brought that story up in reference to it really quick to show us an example of you just listening to the words of somebody else. That's just the first step, I guess. But whether those words are you reading them or you listening to them audibly, we can talk about all day what the intent of the speaker is, but what's your intent sitting there listening to them? Either way, you can't have these type of discussions without the word faith being brought up, because what leads you to hold on to the words of another to begin with? Once again, like in KimK's situation, most people graduate college by simply putting the work in, like the study, the homework, the projects and the assignments. That's how you graduate. You don't need a psychic to tell you whether you're going to graduate or not. Your teacher can tell you that. Your professors, because they're going to say, yeah, if you put the work in, you're going to graduate. You don't need a psychic to tell you that. Like, oh, is my business going to be successful? Just imagine the fun, the devil's playground, the fun he has with people wanting to know stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be successful if you put the work in. Or, depending on your definition of successful, how can you ask a psychic that? You might have been saying, people should be more specific with their questions too, I guess. If you want to talk about suing psychics and putting penalties on them and maybe making them try to give you a refund and stuff like that. It's just crazy, bro. Like, some things you don't even need direction about. You put the work in. Even if that work you put in was 10 years before you saw the quote-unquote successful results you were looking for. You can't do something the first attempt, it don't work out, and you say the psychic was lying. That's what I'm saying. Like, people got to be more direct about the questions they ask the psychics too. Not me, because I don't give psychic readings to people. But if I did, this is what I would tell them. You got to understand what, like, bro, even with prophetic words, God has never been known to like reveal the whole playbook to one person. Even the prophet John saw a lot, or Enoch and people like that. They saw a lot in visions and dreams, and they still didn't understand a whole season or something that God was trying to explain was coming one day. These are called revelations. Like, you get a peep into something doesn't mean you know everything about it enough to where you can control it. Just because you got a little peep into what might happen. That's my opinion about KimK's situation, though. She got to look at that. Like, it's people that have attempted the bar exam like 10 times before they passed it. So if the psychic told her she's going to pass it one day, then it's up to her to believe that. But either way, it wasn't just going to happen because some psychic told you it's going to happen. 80% of it is the decisions you make in life. All they doing is reading the intent of why you're even coming to getting the reading. I think God understands like our hearts and intent of something like that. I never thought I would see today like psychics and psychics, physicists and prophets, right? People just want to be friends with you because of that. If that ain't like a whole exhibition of people wanting to be powerful because they want to know stuff before it happened, that's exactly why God don't just give that gift to any old body. I can see that now. Because what are people's intent? They feel like, well, I want that gift. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to be a psychic. That's crazy. I'm taking another slight pause break. Thank you guys for bearing with me for a second. Cause this topic is deep. I might have to come back with a part 2 later on today, y'all. Cause I've been wanting to speak on this, like the significance of people's intent of going to get readings. Like, to me, that's different. Just supporting a reader, supporting a business or something like that. But when you start actually paying for the reading, that's more than supporting. Because whether you believe what you're being told or not, I can't believe that people base their lives off of that. They be looking for signs that what they told you is helping to dictate your decisions. Nobody will ever be that much of God to me. That's what it comes down to. And they'll try to call you rebellious, or you don't have a respect for authority. And I've seen how people treat people with no authority at all, like janitors or regular people every day. They don't respect them, but they be wanting to be respected because of their positions and stuff. It's just crazy. Okay, well, now that people respect you, why wouldn't you expect to be sued if somebody feel like you told them something that almost crashed their life to the ground? It's so many stories too already out here that are like viral of people. That does not mean every psychic reader is false, okay? Let me mention that part. But there are a lot of people out there with stories of what they feel like tragedies start happening in their life once they started trusting uh, readers. Now, would y'all say that's a scam, or people falling for it? Even if it's a scam, you don't have to fall for it. Here. Okay. Get your cup. Like, how can you say somebody scammed you and you chose to take their words and apply it to your life and put your faith in their words like that? You know? That's like a psychic telling me, throw all the food in your house away, it's poison, and I actually do that, and now I have no food, and that psychic is not finna give me money to go buy more food. That's what made me start looking at stuff like that a little deeper. The psychic could have been right. Your food is poison, but you know it's kind of hard to poison canned goods, so why would you throw away everything? Some of the stuff they tell you, some of the stuff the psychic's gonna tell you, bro, they can't even help you past that. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, throw all your clothes away. They've been compromised. I mean, are you going to help me with a GoFundMe to buy more clothes? No, I'd rather keep trusting God. But now that I have this information, I can go pray about what you just told me. Did you just tell me all my clothes are compromised with some kind of evil spirit? Well, now let me do what I want to do with the information, which might be going to submit before the throne of God and talking to him about where I have been awakened about something in my life, and ask for his assistance with it. Because I was just saying, it ain't too many psychics known to help you like that, step by step by step, like actually doing the work for you. That's not a psychic's job. They're there to help you read through what you was trying to read through. It's up to you what you sit there and do with the information. That's is my opinion, though. You know, they could tell you, yeah, your car gonna break down in 2 weeks, so don't drive it. And now them whole 2 weeks you didn't drive the car, you didn't get nothing done. You further behind on your business. That's what makes it look scamish a little bit to me anyway. Like why is the things you tell people never positive? It's all about somebody's watching them, somebody's stalking them, somebody's compromising you. I mean, and then your job should just be to read the situation. You shouldn't be out here still watching, trying to see what decisions a person make after what you tell them. That's what exposes the intent of what you told them. So I'm on KimK side a little bit. I agree with her with that. Not every psychic is like genuine. Their gift might be. That don't mean they are. Don't you know you can give somebody a genuine gift? That don't mean they're a genuine person, or that the person that gave the gift was genuine. And I mean, it's a nice gift. Something like some Apple headphones, iPods, or Apple phone. Anybody would find that a nice gift. You see what I'm saying? But does that mean that the gift deliverer was pure, or the one who accepted the gift was pure? The Bible says gifts are given without repentance. So it pretty much means just because a person is gifted doesn't mean their intents are going to be pure. He don't God give everybody free will. He's not going to sit there and try to tell you how to use your gift, what to do with it. But he's also not telling people to be out here scamming people just because they have a gift. But this is my opinion. Like, yeah, we know the Bible says your gift will make room for you. But that, how does that? Yeah, you got the right to scam people because you got a gift. They'll try to tell you if you ain't making money off your gift, something wrong with you. Well, we gonna steal them and make money off of them. I promise they try to make a profit off of everything, and then still try to sit here and pretend that scams aren't real, especially spiritual scams. I'm glad it's being exposed more actually, cause people try to make it like the only place these scams exist is Mickey Mouse? Huh? What do you want to watch? Okay. Yeah, like, it's just crazy, y'all. I remember a time in life I was just living every day. You didn't know what the next day, or you make plans. Pretty much I'm saying there's people out here that don't. Thank you. That's crazy though. Like, cause some of the advice they be giving people though, like, yeah, cut this person off. Like, I had a dream before. God was like, cut off your right hand, but I don't think he meant like physically. But I didn't have as much like spiritual knowledge as I do now about certain things when it comes to discerning certain messages or divine messages or codes I might be getting to help me in life, to help guide me in life. GUIDE. But, you know, we'll reverence to somebody we real close to as our right hand man and our right hand woman, right? And really, I never gave anybody that title in my life, but God did. He said, cut off your right hand years and years ago. And that was like in a dream. I didn't have to go to a like reader or a psychic person to see that. If anything, when I shared the dream with people, they more looked at me crazy. Like we don't doubt what you're saying because it's deep, but that's why I believe some divine messages we get are specifically for us. Like, it's not like a cell phone where people can just hack all your messages. That's why I pray to God every day for a deeper connection with him, a deeper protected connection as well, because this is what they do with devices and phones and stuff. People just hack and see all your messages. What I said was a dead giveaway for it is where people only used to get information through directly talking to you. They don't even ask for it no more. They moving seemingly 10 steps ahead of you. Why wouldn't it reveal to somebody that you might be watching them or you might be getting information about them a whole nother way? You don't even ask them about their life no more. You don't even, it's crazy. Like, that's a dead giveaway in itself. You just seem to know everything about them now. Or you seem to need it to control to need to. That way you can just cut them out of asking them questions because you feel like, well, I was watching you. Well, you better make sure that's legal. This is crazy. The just how people out here trying to normalize scams at the same time. For example, did you see how that was released in the news recently? They saying now that Wendy Williams didn't have a psychological issue the whole time. They be trying to hide that once you expose people to that medicine, like some of that medicine will show you, it'll tell you on the bottle that it has side effects. But I don't like how they try to make side effects non-existent. Like you don't have to pay somebody out or explain why a certain medication that you thought they should be on started affecting them a whole nother way. Because it was never promised on any drug that it might not have side effects. But you giving it to them as a whole healing solution, as a whole therapeutic solution. But that's like saying that medicine don't affect people different. Anyways, that's the update with Wendy Williams. I want to look more into that, so because I might come back and do a topic about her too, a commentary and reaction. Uh, People say for entertainment purposes. No, I say for informative, insightful topic purposes, because not everything everybody going through is not for entertainment. Look at it. But people will say that in a minute. Oh, I'm just talking about this for entertainment. I'm not going to claim that every time, though. I'm sorry, because how is somebody's life tragedy or something somebody else went through entertainment? They just be telling us, too, like, yeah, this for entertainment purposes. I'm just trying to get these views, these likes for somebody else's whole tragedy. That's why we call our segments over here insightful topics. We're more looking at these issues for insightfulness. Yeah, I was making sure I covered all that I wanted to say about this real quick. Like people got to be careful though, because even if it's not a psychic, there's just regular people out here every day that can give you advice or give you an opinion about what you should do. So I kind of withdrew myself from that as much as possible, because that way, however things play out or turn out in your life, you can definitely say without a shadow of a doubt, well, they must have been meant to be. I didn't go off of nobody's opinion about what I should do. I didn't go, I didn't go off of somebody else's direction or word or psychic reading about what I should do. One thing about authentic readers or prophets or predictors, time is going to expose that. That's not something you can just speak on and like, oh, that person false and that person ain't false. People gonna see the truth on their own. Some words you can take back, some you can't. Not when you're in the prophetic psychic realm of things. Once you say it, you foretold it with boldness. People are, like I said, I don't see how Tom does not tell all like they said. That quote is very true. Tom would be better to more able dictate, oh, well, this person knew what they was talking about, or this person didn't know what they was talking about. We don't need people speaking on it. They be trying to hurry up and debunk who they want to debunk. They're just not God, though. So, but because that king in the Bible that I was speaking on, I think his name was Nahum, or it started with an N. Because he continued to follow the instruction of the man of God and continue to dip in the river, even though he had to go back several times, he wasn't one of those people who said, well, I didn't see results the first time, so this prophetic word must not be true. That's why I've forgiven people a long time ago. Like, first of all, when God give a word to you about something, a prophetic word, a prediction, a psychic reading, it's for that person. That's why you ain't never went to a psychic reading and 10 people came in there to get the reading together. Any psychic readers see that? I would say that's odd. All 10 of y'all want the reading together? You only see one person because that reading is for that one person. I thought that's how it went. It shouldn't be the whole town in your damn business because the reader just told you you're going to be a millionaire one day. What the hell? And the whole time, people don't understand, like, every decision they make plays into the things that are meant to be. Even the slightest decisions they think mean nothing, you are helping that prophecy come to pass. Okay? Even the decisions you don't make because you feel like, well, this can hold that person back from that prophecy. You're still playing into the prophecy. Even though a prophecy can be for one person or one city or one country, one entity. Uh, it's real funny how everything everybody else do in the time period that that prophecy is supposed to come to pass is actually helping that prophecy to come to pass. I'm going to say this again. Even if you're doing nothing at all, because doing nothing at all can be healthy sometimes. It's called minding your business. You're not doing anything. But sometimes doing nothing at all can be looked at negatively. Like, well, you didn't do nothing at all. The rest of us had intent with this person's privacy. I'm sorry. I don't know where privacy came from. I meant to say prophecy. But, you know, that's how I try to actually live my life too. I wouldn't say I have a deepest fear, so I don't want to call it that. But when it comes to something, and I've been called a lot of things in life. I've been looked at as a lot of things. You name it. I've probably been considered that by somebody. But what I never want to look like is a person who blocked or interceded or tried to intercept or ruin somebody else's prophecy over their life. Me, I don't want to be no parts of that. And I know I can't be perfect, so that'll make you, that alone, wanting to be that type of person will kind of like naturally change you. Because you already feel like that. Like, I'm not finna be the reason that somebody say they couldn't get a better relationship with God. They couldn't get to know God and see his mercy and grace and know who he is and get their blessings. And I don't want to be the person that's holding it back for somebody. They just be trying to find something to say with everything when these are real topics. Yes, we can have different opinions, but see, for generations, it just stays people's opinions. So it's like, what's really changing about it? Sorry, y'all, I had to take a big yawn stretch. um, Now, people can keep playing with certain stuff if they want to. That's just my opinion. Not all of us choose to do that. Because, like, playing and then playing with your own life and then playing with others' life, all those are three different things. You know? And to me, how is that still not playing with your life, other people's life? And maybe the reader's life. People just be playing out here. Like, God understands if you don't understand. It's called intent. Misunderstanding is a whole reason people learn lessons. And the lesson they learn is misunderstandings are real. And this is why knowledge is suitable. It's recommended. It's actually freely given in times like today. It's all over Google, Wikipedia, the internet. You want to go learn more about something. And this is definitely one of those things. Like, you wouldn't just go get a BBL, would you? You would go research a little bit. The different body packages you can get and how it can affect your health, and maybe even think about your health. Like, is this healthy for me? Do I have other health issues already that could get worse because I get a whole BBL? Like, you would research something before you now that's how it would commonly go. That doesn't mean people don't be curious and just jump in too. Even with religions, even with cults, even with groups and teams and organizations, there is absolutely nothing wrong with researching anything before you jump on the gun. That doesn't mean you're looking for perfection when you research, because we know that diversity is real. Everything is 100% different in the world. That's why it's, you can see, I don't know, like when people be I'm trying to use a good example, imitate, copy, You can see that because everything is naturally different. Even plants, there are no two plants that are exactly the same. No two animals. You might have a species, but they're all still different. All that make us different is the DNA codes. I think that's what it boils down to, right? And I'm not saying it's nothing wrong. I don't know if people were waiting on my opinion about this or something, but that's a person's personal business. If you want to go get a reading and pay for it, PAY, okay, and invest, because that's how these probably type of businesses work. Church, you're not paying to walk in the church, but people do give donations and contributions for their own reasons that they believe in giving back to the sectors. But that's not paying, that's like freely giving. Just like knowledge. Just like education. Now if a person come in a learning environment and they didn't come to learn, that's on them. That didn't mean that it wasn't being freely given like that or something. Okay, guys? And I just feel like, yeah, that's one of those things. Because, like, honestly, there is a Halloween just passed, but there are real people out here that may have experienced stuff like Ouija boards. Like, just, I'm talking about those kind of spiritual tools. Like, trying to see just for the right. I ain't gonna even try to speak it, but the intent of people is different. We understand if you feel like you got a ghost in the house or something, and that's a reason you went and got the Ouija, but you trying to communicate, but you still want to do some kind of background research. Why would you just start messing with something? But like I said, people get curious. God understands that too. I'm sure. But it ain't all the intents be different. Sometimes it's because people curious. Sometimes they just want to mess around. They did research it before. They still want to mess with it. Some, they had spiritual reasons that they... Me personally, I've never played with one of those. Like with my own free will and intent, went and invested in one of those or asked somebody for one. And no, not me, never. Because the little bit I know about those, I don't need it in my life at this time. I haven't needed it up till this time. And that's crazy. Every day I don't use it, there's somebody out there using one. That's just the cycles of the world. Every day you choose to be a separate type of person than somebody else. That's just natural to me. That's diversity for you. And making people more comfortable again with diversity. Like, everybody ain't got to be the same. Now, if they experiment with something, they have a negative experience, usually they tell the person, I don't want to probably go this route anymore, as far as like knowing it. She was just saying the psychic told her something, or probably many things, we don't know. And she felt like, wait a minute, this didn't happen, or that didn't go that way, or whatever reason. Any business can, like, if you ask me though, can always, like, you should want to look at that. Like, you don't want people going out there and, because once you don't become credible with any business that goes through that, it's very unfortunate. Usually they can fix it somehow. I mean, they go through things, they get sued, and everybody want to be a business owner and a boss and do all that kind of stuff, but that comes with it too. Like, business law is very real. Because it's serious. Like, everybody trying to make their money, but even in these groups and pools of groups and stuff that people put together, you call it a cult, religious, whatever. Some people just practice what they do on their own too, I guess. They read for people. You know, I was saying the people have to take accountability to me. Like, if you're going to pay your money, and that's the first thing. And then you want to believe everything word for word, tit for tat. It ain't even about believing. It's about that first, but it's what are you doing with it after that? You paying for it, you believing in it. Is it starting to affect your decisions? Is it starting to have an impact on, yeah, it do make you think. Yep, like looking at people like, how is this person before they became this or before they was doing this? Because like your work can change you, or I guess the work that you're putting into your life, you don't want to put more of it. Some people do. Like Christ conscious believers, they actually believe, yeah, this should take consume more of who you are each day before anything else. And also some other religions, they're very faithful and committed to what they believe in, or how can you call it something you believe in? You got to remember, those are just people too. That's why I wouldn't go probably as deep as people would. It don't mean you trying to be different all the time, but I don't want to put my whole faith in going like you actually hold paying. And then when you talk about paying for what? Or paying with what? That's what I meant to say. Like paying with what? People pay with cash, or they pay with what to get. They don't have to be our business, but with other businesses, you can see it. It's at a register or it's online, however they do it. You know. But most times you mean with tangible payment, like cash. Like what are people paying with? Because they say it is true. You can pay with your soul. You feel like you broke, but you really paying for whole. You helping to do it in a way, because you feel like you broke and you're not really paying for it. Like who pays for dysfunction or chaos or mallet? Like who pays for that? Not saying that's what you're doing when you get a reading, but I'm asking who pays for their life to just go shatter shambles everywhere. They literally paying for it, even if it's unconsciously. If it take you looking at it that way, this is an inspirational quotes channel, okay? You can tune into our inspirational quotes in the short section every day. I just, I don't, I want people to know I publish these myself. I write these myself. I am an author and a poet and just a writer, and I've always loved to write. I'm surprised I don't like write music, but I don't know. I like to try to stay living and alive. I'm just talking a little bit about some of the things I like to do that I feel like don't even hurt nobody. People can point out things they feel like you do that hurt people, but I can name a list of things right now in my own life that's a blessing that I just enjoy to do that don't actually hurt people at all. Like, if anything, if I said like, hey, I love music, down to the point where maybe I could write it if I want to, but I am a writer. I just write. And with something like that, once again, you can be gifted or something, but it's like anything you don't work out, like a muscle for a while, it's gonna get. I didn't say like non-existent, but probably stiff. It just go back to like, boom. You want to write music, you got to get that muscle going again. Reading those notes, getting back into those music books, right? Like it's gonna take work, like with anything you do. Now, when it comes to work, you don't have to go ask nobody about that. Like, am I gonna be successful in my business? Is this gonna take off? Is this gonna blow up? I don't know. I guess to each their own, cause like I would say that's a lot of pressure a little bit. Like Tom is telling you, yeah, you're gonna be a professional. You feel like you're going through something totally different. Does that mean not listen or don't believe? Because it didn't happen the first time, two or three. Yeah, I guess that's what grit. I would say pertaining to one goal, you just keep going no matter what happened. But what if you like that with everything in your life? You know, of course, if you give up on it the first three times, you weren't trying to see that prophecy or prediction come to pass anyway, if you ask me. But that's kind of like my hustler mindset too. Anytime I want to put it in gear, you can be like that in every area of your life. Like it could seem stagnant or delayed, but if you work out a stiff muscle and get that muscle going back again, it's crazy too. Cause like I feel like people can apply that as many places. I don't know. It's a lot of stories that show us people have already. They shifting it gear neutral or airplane mode or what's the other one? Auto drive. I don't know. Let me. I was just trying to give another inspirational way to look at it, but you don't want to look at that with work. It already tell you that about work. You don't work, you don't eat. You don't need anything else predicted about that. It's your hustle, your uh drive, your determination. What do you want in life? You can't get mad at the reader. You feel like you're doing everything you can, and it ain't happen. That's deeper than a reader. All they can do is read it for you, kind of read it. That's the thing. How do purposes come about? People be playing into it like, okay, you want to be one of the ones that just watch. You want to be one of the ones that talk. You want to be one of the ones that contribute. Regardless of how it happened, purposes don't just when somebody actually start walking in it, you know, it might just creep up on them overnight and everybody else around them too. I believe that. You can't just you can read it a little bit. I didn't say that's not real. Like they probably can't read it in the cards or whatever for you, but it's going to take your work that brings that purpose about. In my opinion, I don't see how that's not true. Uh, they can read it all day long. You're not just gonna go home and lay on the couch and you walked into. I don't know. It's like what did you do to? They told you you're gonna be a millionaire. You like, yeah, I'm trying to be a movie star. Am I gonna be a movie star? I don't know. I wouldn't want to personally, not about no questions like that. Like, am I gonna be a famous singer? Is my career gonna take off? You don't need a reader to know that. You put the work in and see what. Put the work in and see what happens. You don't need no reader to tell you that. Put the work in and see if you become a movie star. Cause like, what kind of movie star are you trying to be? I mean, you trying to do skits? These people done blew up just off of 30-second skits, bro. Like, what kind of movies are you trying to do? You don't need no reader. Uh, Success is within reach for anybody. If you can't do it with your own hands, guess what? You can hire an assistant, right? Let's talk about that part. Some jobs you can't you can hire assistants, but if you work with your hands, it's more you doing the work. But there are some professions where you, thank God, can hire help and their hands are doing the work, but you're still I don't know, like you still the coordinator of their whole business. And people don't be wanting to accept it. And you don't have to tell everybody that when it's that. People want careers is all readings people do for people. Because they be wanting to know, like, how are my finances going to be in the next 5 years? That ain't the only thing, but money is always a big one. It's so deep to people, they want to go see and know ahead of time. No, just put in the work and you should see the harvest eventually of the seed you plant. That's how that goes. You putting in the work, why wouldn't you see that? You don't need a reader. Now, I would say if you put in all that work, nothing happening, I can see a person going to a reader like, what's going on? Maybe I shouldn't laugh, but I just believe some other things too. Like you can ask God too, or you can just Life is be right there in front of you. You can see it. If you know that you putting all the work in to build your career success, you're not going to a reader to try to do your shit. Like you actually putting in the handwork like that. And you like, dang, I ain't making no money still. Cause they don't go that way. Like it's not supposed to. If you got more people got to go check those places to see what's going on with their money, what does that tell you? Come on, man. And you got to pay money to find out? Uh-uh. A person know when they working or they putting in work where they should be getting the harvest from. Period. That's like a farmer going out there planting all that stuff and he don't know where it's going to grow back up from. They might even keep markers out there in the field. We don't know because I'm not a farmer. Where it kind of more labels all the different crops accordingly so they know where their crops are. But I don't think there's a farmer out there growing stuff and he don't know where his crops are supposed to sprout back up from. You see? You have to make a person really, really gone or not paying attention or something to not see that. And they have eyes to see. Period. And then people talk about the third eye, so I'm glad I mentioned eyes. It's like most people don't see physically like a third eye, like a cyclone type of deal. That ain't how we look physically when we look at one another's faces. But I'm just giving my opinion on some of this stuff because what would lead you to like a reader to begin with, and then you putting all your faith and belief in like words you're being told, and if you say you're doing it, then you have to understand it's not just a person words, it's your actions too. They can tell you what's going they can tell you what's going to happen in the future all they want to. Like what are you doing to if it's supposed to play out like that, what is the person whose destiny and everything everybody talking about, what are they what are they supposed to be doing for this to like transpire, right? And people try to pinpoint, well, yeah, as long as we keep this person away from the crops, they'll never know they sprouted. That is so stupid. But this person remembered every spot where they planted something. The watermelons, the apple trees, the potatoes. They remember every spot, the coordinates of the garden, of the farm out there. Like that, you know. Then I guess that's where like the seven deadly sins and all that stuff come in it too. Cause it's like greed is a whole thing too. Not calling, I'm not talk about that. To call Kim Kardashian greedy, or I mean, I understand people wanting to have their life and career and finance is part of their life as high as possible, as straight as possible. Like they want to have, and then some stuff you don't even need. They be wearing all these extra jewelries and like to survive you don't need that. I can see keeping a few pieces, but and then it's like, well, we paid money to these readers, they telling us wrong. You ain't got to pay for that. Greed is real too. You can manage and still budget your money without doing that. But some of them, that's how they promote their brands and stuff too. So we understand that a little bit. Makeup and glitz and the extra showgirl and showboy type of stuff. They have to do that for talk about entertainment purposes. You know, girl, what are you watching? What is that? Girl, thank you guys for tuning in. I might come back with a part two on this one because I'm very kind of passionate about the topic. Just that I don't think people should do that. Like, words can be inspirational, motivational. I'm just trying to describe. I think words are very powerful, actually. It shows us that If people will pay money just to take your word, now you put yourself on another pedestal because they might get mad if they feel like your word didn't play out in a positive way for them. Now it's like, well, you didn't have to take that person advice or word, and that comes with paying with something too. It really do. Just because you don't want to take you can listen, but you putting action into what somebody just told you, they feel like you should do, or they see that you're going to do, and you know you wasn't doing it before, but it says you're going to do. Come on, man. Or you feel like you're not doing it in that moment, but it says you're going to do this, right? It still go back to, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing to make this purpose, this destiny, this what? Because you have the things in life you want, and you have the things in life that's just like faded, bro. Like, to me, this is my opinion. Like, it's just faded, it's stamped, it's sealed. Like, this is going to happen, this is going to come to pass. With those type of things, it can probably creep up on you overnight. It's gonna show you that because it's like this was fated. I feel like it's a whole difference between fate, destiny, those two things for sure. If I ever had like twins, I'll probably name them that. Cute, cute. They ain't gonna be fate, Fate, and destinies. But I ain't had a set of twins or nothing like that yet in my lifetime. Or if somebody named their twins that, I'd be so happy because that's like a great duo right there. Like fate and destiny, because I feel like it is two whole separate things. That's why when I first heard about anything like Destiny Swap or something like that being real, I still remember the days. Like, I didn't think about that at all. Like, I didn't even, wasn't a little aware that something like this exists. Okay? But I had heard of the word, of course, destiny before. Of course, even if you read a fairy tale story, you might be introduced to that term, that word, a terminology at an early age. The word destiny and fate, Fate. Like, oh, it was fated. And things can be fated in a negative way or a positive way. I'm just different, and I'm in the middle like this because I believe fates, destinies, probably, if they can be changed for negative reasons and with negative intents, they can also be changed for the good. But it's not like a lot of people that probably believe that out there, and that's okay. They like, what you saying? You can change fate and destiny? Because who would want that to be changed for like negative intent and purposes? Who would? If they fate was and destiny was supposed to be on some positive road their whole life, who would want to change that? But in the times and events that it does seem shaky, of course, unexpected, when those fated and destiny events happen that we feel like are uh, quote unquote negative for whatever reason upon our backs and in our lives, we can remember that they can also be changed if you can do swaps and changes and stuff for negative reasons why this can't be done for good reasons. To see, so people are seeing more of their crops, their harvest, where they're putting in work as well, that is work too. Like I said, every day somebody's not going to go get a reading or some kind of spiritual insight on their life. There's somebody that is. Even if you are, when you stop, somebody else still gonna be doing it. That's how real life is. So I just said that if people have these kind of freedoms, we have to just, if we're gonna keep them here, remember that everybody has a diverse belief, a different belief, no matter what you do, whether you believe nothing or not. There's people out there still going to be practicing, studying, researching. To me, practicing and studying is two different things, or practicing, studying, and believing in something. Just to believe, I would hope that you practiced, studied, experienced it. You say you believe it. You're going to believe in it. You're paying money to go see what's going to happen next. Or I can see probably for like more what happened in the past. Because people can get obsessed with the future. Maybe that's what happened, or with where we all stand now. Because even in the early 2000s, I remember like people being all obsessed with Y2K, the end of the world, and they've always done that. They have people that get obsessed with that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I might come back with a part two, do a little more audio segments like these for you guys on similar topics. All right, we thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're invited, you're welcome. Hit the like button to show your support, and until next time.